I hope you guys are ready for this. I've decided, because I'm sponsoring a track every week, right? I have decided to kind of go down a rabbit hole of reacting to every single track that I have in my Focus mixtape. Okay, let me tell you why. Right? If you don't know yet, if you are new to this channel, I listen to music, to very specific music. I blare it in my ears to drown out all the noise, all the stress, all the anxiety, all the, you know, I don't know, not midlife crisis, but all the crises that I normally deal with. And so I never pay attention to the actual freaking lyrics of what it is that I'm listening to. Sometimes, really sometimes, when instead of licking my wounds or, wallowing in whatever it is that I'm feeling, I go and listen to music that can turn it into turmoil, turn it into rage, so I can feel better and rather get angry and act on the anger because then I actually get stuff done. I'm productive, right? So not the healthy way. I don't care. It's the way that keeps me alive at this stage because I can either jump off a building or I can rather, flourish and thrive on my rage and make something of myself. So this is going to be, I've already reacted today to Popular Monster by Falling in Reverse, which was a reaction request by someone else called Kenneth. Kenneth, thank you, by the way. So that got me thinking, because that is the ultimate favorite song and kind of the song that introduced me to Falling in Reverse. And I thought, hold the phony. Maybe we should create an entire rabbit hole so that you guys, can basically go to this playlist of mine and just listen to everything that it is that I'm listening to. Okay, so the mixtape is already there. It's public. You guys can listen to the originals, but let's create a mixtape or a reactions playlist where I react to the music that I'm listening to. Okay, because again, chances are I've never seen the video. I don't know more than one or two words, maybe one line of the song. So yeah, I thought of, let's kick this off. I'm going to add the Popular Monster reaction just because it's obviously on my list. I might have added it more than once to the list. But the next one is Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace. So I'm an absolute sickening fan of 3 Days Grace. Friggin' love their music. You guys will see I'm already subbed. If you're not subbed, that's a problem. So I just this song is what also tends to, it's a nice headbanger when you're working. And whatever it is that I'm feeling, I just completely drown that out. I just shift that. I shift all those voices like telling me, you're not gonna make it, you're gonna fail, I'm like, fuck it. Okay. So we're gonna listen to this and watch this video. We're gonna read the lyrics. I already pulled up the lyrics. It's sitting here so we can read it afterwards. And then we, as usual, will do a little bit of digging if I have some. You guys know, like, I go down my little squirrel rabbit holes and I need to satisfy my curiosity, and what I can't find or requires too much reading, then I just ask you guys to let me know in the comments. Share the information, share the love. Okay, so here we go. Animal I've Become by 3 Days Grace. We're gonna headbang, get used to it. I am a metalhead indeed, as you can see. And you should know this by now if you know me. How can you not start a song like this? Ooh. typical goth skater look of the 2000s. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, you gotta love the 2000s! Woo! So what if you can see the darkest side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal I have become. Poco impulse control. Haha. Ah. Okay, so this song has actually a very different meaning to what I've always believed. Or what I thought, you know, just by listening to this animal, because I just thought it's got to do with maybe, I don't know, anger management or something. But now looking at it, I think it's a bit more addiction, maybe addiction. Okay, so first of all, this scene where he was lying in bed and he couldn't move, he was paralyzed, and then a being that's kind of looks like him, just it's not him, you know, hunching over him on all fours. That is called, first of all, sleep paralysis. And second of all, that shit is very, very real. I don't know if he knows it. I don't know if that is what he intended, but it's generally not your own reflection. Well, I can't say generally, it depends on, you know, what appears. But it is entities. It is entities that, you know, come, especially if your house is haunted or if you have something that's attached to you. Most people that don't have the sight obviously wouldn't never even know. They'll go through their entire life not knowing something is latching onto them and impacting their entire life and their decisions and how they behave. And I mean, Christianity, they have a point when, you know, they say you're possessed. You're not really possessed because the thing is not inside of you, it's attached to you. It's an entity that roams around you, and generally, or in a lot of cases, it's because you lived with fear or anxiety, or you live with unresolved issues, you know. So there are entities that come and suck on it. I mean, if you guys have watched Supernatural, majority of what's happening in Supernatural is actually very fucking true, and they've really done their research. So don't disregard that. Don't think it's evil or you possess or you demonic. That's a bunch of horseshit. Okay, so if you want to believe in aliens, you gotta believe that there's other spiritual entities roaming the planet and on other realms and whatever not. So that was pretty intense. I do think though, let's go find the lyrics. Okay, well, here it is. I already opened it. Duh. We're gonna read it because I do think. Where am I now? There. What did I say? I think it is addiction, eh? Yeah, not so much. Maybe aggression. It would make sense. Yeah. Okay. So I can't escape this house. So many times I've tried, but I'm still caged inside. So when you are caged by addiction, or if you are, bound by addiction, me, I kind of experienced it this week in a very light sense. I honestly feel like I'm addicted to caffeine, to coffee. I can't. I lose my mind when I have to go without it, and I get shaky and I'm irritated. And normally I'm a very irritable person. I'm very irritable. I have very short fuse. No secret. You guys know this. That's why I can just axe someone when they piss me off. But when I don't get my coffee, I can't function. I'm not happy. And then I keep making myself rules. I'm like, no, it's fine. You know what? I can cut down to 1 cup a day, because my biggest problem right now is the amount of coffee I'm drinking is preventing me from, absorbing my minerals and my vitamins. So I'm not getting iron, I'm not getting magnesium, I'm not getting my zinc, none, my copper. Everything is too low. And it's because of my coffee intake. So I'm trying to reduce it or completely eliminate it. I can't eliminate it, apparently. The longest I've ever gone was 2 months, and that was after a full 2-week bone broth fast. Um, and I magically got it done for friggin' 2 months. And then, but once I have that 1 cup again, it's gone, it's tickets. And then I thought, no, it's fine. You know what? I will have 1 cup a day, not before 11 in the morning, just so that I can, get a little bit, because I love the smell of coffee. I love the taste, and I drink it black with no sugar. Um, and then before I knew it, I'm back to having my coffee the moment I open my eyes. Like, I'm not even awake yet. Odin still comes and cuddles with me, and I'm already like, oh, a cup of coffee would be so nice right now. And my eyes are not even open. So that's bad. Any case, that is kind of why I now feel like this song is very much addiction related, just because I've experienced that now this week and last week. So I can't escape this hell. So many times I've tried, but I'm still caged inside. Like, you're a prisoner of this, right? Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Mine is obviously very mild. It's just freaking coffee. It's not heroin. It's not, I don't know, what do people get addicted to? Alcohol. What other drugs is very, very addictive? Ecstasy, I think. I don't know. I've never done those things. I don't know. Cocaine. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. So what if you can see the darker side of me? So what? No one would ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe I do turn into an animal when I don't have coffee, guys. Again, this is why my brain went towards this. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal, this animal, this animal. I can't escape myself. I can't escape myself. So many times I've lied. So many times I've lied, but they still rage inside. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. So what if you can see the dogs? So what? Like, honestly, so what? You get to that point. I have been at that point for a while, when I used to be a people's pleaser. I'm probably still to my core a people's pleaser. You know, unfortunately, I would rather put other people before myself. But then once you turn yourself into the person that I believe do not deserve that, that's when you see the other side of me. The animal, I suppose. And then I don't give a crap what you think about me. What? Somebody help me tame. No, we've been there. It's the chorus. So bridge, somebody help me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Somebody wake me from this nightmare. I can't escape this hell. Oopsie. I just switched tabs. My bad. So what if you see the dark side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. So you know what? There is still a sense of, I want to say, hope, because he's at a point where he's like, there's got to be better. There's got to be more. There's got to be something, there should be a version of me that is not the version that keeps suffering like this. Somebody help me tame this animal I've become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal. But it's kind of your reality when you're in that, when you, let's say, going through withdrawal, when you're rehabilitating. I think it's fucking hell. It is hell. I mean, there was a stage where I went through a really, really bad patch. I broke mentally. I got sent to a clinic. Well, my brother asked me nicely. And then my doctor also said he's concerned my organs are going to fail because I remain in distress. So it's based, they book me in, I go and get some sleep because I'm sleep deprived. And I keep, I stress too much and whatever. And I stay, again, I had a reaction earlier also where I spoke about it's really important to remove yourself from the circumstances that making you feel mentally the way that you are feeling, or making you depressed, making you anxious, all of that. If you give your body and your life and your mind the right environment and the right circumstances, you will have a different life. And the same was with me. So when I went to the clinic, stayed there for 3 weeks, at first I didn't want to go because I had severe obsessive compulsive behaviors, aka the actual disorder. I was diagnosed a few years ago. Any case, so needless to say, I don't eat from restaurants, or I didn't. I don't touch anything that was touched by someone else. I would, sanitize the whole time. I would clean everything. Don't dare leave anything in the zinc. Don't dare walking with shoes in my house. It was ridiculous. I wouldn't touch anyone. There's no physical, touch or whatever. And then I got booked into a clinic. Now I need to eat from, food that someone else prepared. I need to sleep in a bed where I didn't wash the bedding. I had to share, a communal room or something with other women that kind of was there for the similar thing. So it was like imagine you have a severe fear of spiders or snakes or whatever. To me, it was like putting me in a casket filled with spiders or snakes or whatever it is that your worst fear is. That was my worst fear. So I went there, I had another breakdown, because now I can't eat. I'm starving. Um, I'm visually seeing germs. I'm visually, seeing everything that I can't stand being around. It was bad, guys. But I have to say, at the end of those 3 weeks, I've come so accustomed to finally, because now they medicate you properly. So I would sleep at night. I would actually get some sleep and my brain would switch off, um, which I'm not used to. So I will sleep in a deep sleep, but my brain is busy. My brain does not, shut down properly. Um, so I wake up exhausted. Any case, after the 3 weeks was done, first of all, I didn't want to leave. Second of all, I didn't want them to take me off my meds because the meds was nice. The meds made me feel nice. The meds made me, not stress about everything enough. Secondly, I was removed out of the same circumstances that turned me into that person that needed, to be booked into a clinic. So yeah, when I said those things earlier, it's because I'm talking from personal experience, not because I'm thumb sucking, bullshit about remove yourself out of the circumstances. Um, I only really say stuff generally when I have personal experience to share, because then I've learned that, I've had the lessons, the life lessons. Um, but yeah, so it's amazing when the moment you feel safe, then actually you don't want to let go of the stuff. But again, the mates, that was actually my point. When they stopped my mates and they just stopped me like that, which I don't necessarily think that was probably not the right idea. They were meant to wean me off, but yeah, I keep going back saying, but I want my mates, like I can't sleep now again. And they refused to give me, they said they can't give it to me because it's addicting. I go, well, you gave it to me for a full fucking 3 weeks. Hello. Now you just want to take me off it. I'm finally sleeping. And they just said no. So I had to survive without it. I'm like, okay, fuck this shit then. And luckily, I have this very, very spiteful personality. So if you tell me no, then I'm just going to prove you fine. Then I will just, do it my way. Um, and I kind of just lock everything again in that fucking Pandora box that I have, and I continue on from that. But yeah, this is, oh, wait. So I wanted to see if there's an about. Here we go. So, Animal I Have Become, the first single from 3 Days Grace 2006 album, I guess our high school, is written as a cry for help. It was written by the lead singer and songwriter Adam during his stay at a rehabilitation center. The narrator feels wild and untamable from an addiction to Oxycontin. Oxycontin? Okay, I've heard of oxy. I haven't. Oxytocin? I know oxytocin. I don't know what oxytocin is. I've heard of it. The word's popping up in my brain. But anyways, and feels consumed by his addiction. Okay. So I'm not devolved. Mine is just, coffee addiction, but is this one worse? Um, I'm guessing shame. But now you see, that's why I like the song, because there's no, crying and wallowing in your sorrows and feeling sad for yourself and all this crap. Um, you kind of deal with it. You verbalize it, you accept it, you rage about it, and then you continue on. That is the recipe for my success and the recipe for me to stay alive. But yeah, so guys, that was the first. Well, let's go with second. Okay, just because I'm gonna add Popular Monster, but this is the second song that is gonna go to my. What are we gonna call it? BHV's personal rabbit hole. What do you guys think? Or should we call it BHV's focus rabbit hole? I think we should do that. Then at least, there's some kind of link between my focus mixtape and, I don't know, you guys can maybe give me some suggestions, okay, in the comments. So tell me, what should I call this rabbit hole where we're going to react to everything that is in my focus mixtape, which is what I listen to, which is my go-to music to get through this thing we call life. And yeah, and you'll be surprised, it's not all metal. Okay, so there's not just all metal. Go check my mixtape. It is scary to see what stuff I sometimes have in there, but it's because I know my go-to really is only one mixtape. I need to be in very specific moods to switch on other mixtapes. Otherwise, I always go to this one. And then because I like a song of God knows what genre, it's gonna go into my focus mixtape. Okay. So you might just find a Disney song in there as well. Mohana. Anyways, I will check you guys in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.
We at the Braveheart. With bright Vikings we stand side by side, with axes raised high, bound by blood and honor. We believe in the old ways,